You spent 2 years writing your records in your own home studio. I was just wondering, can you remember what was the first thing that made that room into a studio for you?
Well, I demoed a lot of it in my parents' attic on a really basic 8-track recorder, and some of that stuff actually did end up on the album. But I worked in a little studio in London as well, and then I went to Black Box, which is a studio in France, and did most of the record there.
Do you still use the 8-track?
Yeah, I do, yeah, that's what I write on.
Is it for you, are you interested in electronic equipment or music-related equipment?
Yeah, well, I'm not very technically minded, so I like stuff that's pretty simple that you can just press record. So I'm not very good with computers, but I love collecting instruments and stuff like that. I'm more that way than kind of software for computers and stuff like that.
How many instruments do you have now at the moment in your room? Is there something?
I've got a lot.
The collection is expanding?
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff. I've got timpani drums and a sitar and a banjo and a piano and a flute, and there's lots of violin, lots of stuff.
Does sometimes maybe getting a new instrument help you to feel new ideas?
Sometimes it does, yeah.
Can you name an instrument that maybe was new for you, that was very pleasant for you to explore a little bit?
Yeah, I hadn't really heard a harmonium being played before I started recording the album, and then I got my hands on one, and it actually became really important to my writing process, and now I have a harmonium player on tour with me. So that was it's been a big thing, really.
Where did you get it? Was it by accident that you got the harmonium?
Yeah, just someone I knew had one, and I heard it, I had a go on it, and I just really loved the sound of it.
So, do you think maybe that's also nice that it's not being used that often, so you have the chance to show the world what a harmonium can do?
I guess it depends what kind of music you listen to. Obviously, it's an Indian instrument, so it's used all the time in that kind of music, but I guess in rock music it's not really used much. Yeah, it's just got a really beautiful tone. It's a really nice instrument.
Yeah, you've been saying that you've got a lot of inspiration from music from various ages, but some of it goes way back. Do you always keep an eye also on what's happening in the pop music of today, or is it something you like to stay away from a little bit?
Well, it depends what you mean by pop music. I mean, I'm not really interested in chart music, but obviously I'm interested in what new releases are coming out from bands that I like, and listening to new kind of alternative music is something that I like to do.
Are you constantly exploring within the musical database what's already, are you constantly digging up new stuff? Or?
I try to, yeah, because it's always good for inspiration to hear something new and something that you really like that you haven't heard before.
Can you name something that you recently discovered that had a big impact on you? Recently?
Well, I mean, I've just got the new St. Vincent album, and I think that's really great. It's called Strange Mercy. That's a really good album.
Okay. I was just wondering, the 2 years you took writing the album, I was wondering, what did you do besides that period of writing music? What was the other occupation or a job maybe that you had aside of it?
Well, I did a bit of playing guitar for other bands, and I did some one-on-one tutoring, guitar tutoring. So that's basically what I did.
Do you still do this?
No, I don't have time.
So you had to tell your students to leave, or how is it actually to teach somebody to play an instrument? How is that?
I don't think I'm a very good teacher because I taught myself, so I find it hard to then teach someone else an instrument that I taught myself. But it also depends a lot on the pupil. If they're enthusiastic and they want to learn, then it can be really easy and natural to just teach them everything you know.
Maybe, I'm not sure how long you did it, but did it make you, what was for you, let's say to somebody who just is new to the instrument or to music, what's the first thing you try to tell them?
As a guitar player, the first thing that I would teach would be the blues, because all kind of popular music is based on the blues, really. So that's the first thing that I would teach them. And also just, well, for me, I got better through using my ear. I think it's really important to try and get used to hearing something and being able to work it out by listening to it. If you have that ability, it's good to make the most of it.
Did you always have the feeling you had that ability, or was it from young age on already?
I think I always had it. I think some people just find that kind of thing easier, but I worked at it as well.
But did for you maybe the teaching aspect, does it also maybe made you look at yourself maybe a little bit different, that maybe the things that were natural to you that you had to explain it, maybe did you also learn something about yourself while doing that?
I suppose it made me aware of what my process is more as a guitar player, but a lot of that it's not really appropriate to teach a kid. I mean, I try and imagine my guitar as if it was an orchestra or a piano, or I try and imagine it's different things than a guitar, to try and get the most out of the instrument and to be as imaginative as I can as a player. And that's not really something that you need when you're 8 years old and you've got your first guitar. So
you have to develop maybe. Do you have the feeling that way of approaching your guitar, you could continue to play like that for the next years?
I think it's always going to be something that interests me, to try and get to just to be imaginative with it and feel that I'm playing something that feels emotional and expressive in whatever way that I find the best way to do that is.